we have another letter about the good old Zoom theme song. This one's from Jody Robinson of Pittsfield, New Hampshire. Dear Zoom, do you really mean what you say in your song when you say, we need you? Jody, how can I tell you? Sure we need you. We need all the kids who watch Zoom on it to help us. We need your ideas, plays, skits, and barrels, and all the other things that Zoom is about. So Jody, when we say, we need you, we really mean it. So won't you zoom, 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 my zoom. Come on and zoom, my zoom, my zoom, my zoom. Come on, give it a try. We're gonna show you just why. We're gonna teach you to fly high. Come on and zoom.
This program is funded by grants from McDonald's Corporation and McDonald's Restaurants Fund, and by public television stations, the Ford Foundation, and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Sue. Sue who? Surprise. Yee!
Once there was a town in the West that had a problem. It had no sheriff. Now, a town with no sheriff is destined for trouble.
Sam, you know exactly why I called you here. We must find a sheriff for our town. Do you have any suggestions? Well, Mr. Mayor, since Terrible Tom, the meanest man in the West, is coming this way, I wholeheartedly agree with you that we should find a sheriff. But we are the only men in the town. Besides Grandpa Jenkins, and he is far too old to be the sheriff. Yes, I see your point exactly, Sam. But we must find a sheriff for our town. Wait a minute, I have a suggestion. Why not ask a sheriff from another town to come to our town until Terrible Tom has gone away? That would never do. All the other sheriffs have to stay in their own town till Terrible Tom is gone.
Well, hello there, fellers. What's your problem?
It seems that we can't find a sheriff.
Well, that's silly. What's wrong with one of you big, strong, and handsome fellers? One of you can be sheriff.
Oh, no, that would never do. See, we all have important positions in the town's welfare.
Well, what have we here? A bunch of sourpusses.
Mrs. Grundy, we were just talking about not having a sheriff for our town.
That's easy.
It is?
Of course it is.
Well, what do you suggest?
Why not one of us?
One of you? That's absurd.
I think it's a wonderful idea, and it's the only solution to the problem.
Okay, just suppose we did try it. How would we tell which of you two women would be sheriff?
Can't you men think of anything? A contest, of course.
Now for the first part of the contest. There'll be a riddle. Why did the man throw the butter out the window?
Because he wanted to see the butterfly.
Correct. Now for the contest of strength. Whichever of you two women can lift me will be the winner.
Let's take 'em, Grundy.
Right on. I don't exactly know which one of you two I should give the star to.
Take it, Grundy.
Great. Now all we have to do is wait until Terrible Tom comes. Yes?
It's Terrible Tom.
Now, just what is it that you want? I want to see her, sure.
I'll go get her.
Her? What do you mean, her? A sheriff is a her. Oh, darn, I could never shoot a her.
Hey, what do you mean you can't shoot a her? A her is no different from a him, and besides, you shouldn't shoot hims either.
No, Jim Lee, things just ain't the same around these here parts. Instead of shooting your sheriff, I think I'll have a ball of sody pop.
Well, everyone lived happily ever after. And Terrible Tom reformed and became Terrific Tom and was a barber.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Butcher. Butcher who? Put your feet on the floor. Oh.
Dear Zoom, here's something you can rap about. I have a friend and we're always trying to be better than each other. To be smarter, to be able to do more things in gymnastics. and a lot of other things like that. What do you think about competition between two friends?
You shouldn't compete against your friend. Only, if you can do like something in gymnastics and she can't do it that well, you can teach her, but you can't compete against her and say, "Aha, you can't do this."
That's a good way of losing friends.
If you're an honest friend, then if you know how to do something that she can't do, then you teach her, and you all know how to do it like about the same amount. Instead of competing with each other, then competing with each other can get you in a lot of trouble. Like she's doing it on the parallel bars and everything. She has, well, I can do better than you. She has, well, now friendship is broken, and then it just messes up everything. So just don't compete.
Like if someone's reading, right?
Yeah.
And they can talk, I can read better than you can. Instead of saying that, I can do this good and you can do that good, they try and do better than the other person instead of doing what they can do.
I have this one friend. He does a lot of things good. He draws good and he can sing good. And he tries to help me sing good, and stuff. And, coaches me in drawing it whenever we have spare time. And that he doesn't brag about his drawing. I just said, I say to him, what are you going to be when you grow up? He says, maybe a cartoonist. I really like this kid because he doesn't, say, well, I know I'm a great drawer and I know I'm going to be a cartoonist when I grow up because you're just no good. He doesn't do that. He just says, you can be a cartoonist if you really tried and I could help you.
Now that gives you a lot of confidence in you when you try, you can do it.
Everybody's conceited, but, everyone is.
Once in a
because
while.
They have their own conceit.
Yeah, see, they're proud of themselves. You should just be proud of yourself and not go around saying it.
Like at my school, there was this kid, he could do math good, and for a while, after he did it, he wasn't so, conceited about it. But after everybody started saying, you're smart, could you help me with my math and everything? So as soon as he got the idea, he was, Mr. Smart, he knew everything in the world. Then he started saying, well, I'm not going to help you anymore because I am smarter than you and I don't want to catch a disease of being dumb.
You should stick with the talent you have and not try and be everything.
And don't be conceited about it because someone can have something better than you.
Here's another cartoon made by the kids at Oakdale Elementary School in Omaha, Nebraska.
Well, it's time to get up. Time to get up and start a new day. Bye, Mom. Hello, Harry.
Hi, Frank. Looking a little pale today.
I'm greener than you are.
Oh, yeah? You are not.
Yes, I am.
Oh, no, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am.
You are not. I am.
Oh. 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 Oh.
All right, Frank. You're greener.
Well, that's more like it.
Well, you're greener, but I'm smarter.
Now we're even.
Let's shake on it.
All right, peace, brother.
Yeah, peace.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Lance.
Lance who?
Lance went there as a rotten egg. Ooh.
We're gonna roll out the barrel and find out what's inside today.
Here's a barrel from Laurie Smith of Clayton, Missouri. First, put on a blindfold, then try to draw a picture of yourself. Okay. So weird. Stripe, 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 stripe. Oops, There, I'm done. You done?
Nope.
You done, Tommy? Should I make? Nah. look gross. They look alright. They came out weird though. You
Yours
can't see what
looks
you're
like
doing. Oh, thank you.
You said it about me.
I know, I was like joking. You didn't say
I
that.
try to make the stripes of the Zoom shirt.
I know, and they came out weird. Oh, gross. I made them in shorts, and then my feet are right at the end of the shorts.
Mine is horrifying.
Tisha's is good. Tisha's you can't tell the faces though. No offense, but you can't.
I can.
Now, won't you try this at home and send your pictures to Zoom?
Hey, Steve, boat coming alongside.
My name is Timmy Galvin. Me and my brother Edward and my friend Darren have a really great job in the summer. Every weekend we work on a big schooner called the Maddie. During the week, the Maddie takes out passengers on week-long cruises around the coast of Maine. We've been working on the boat for 3 years, and Darren kind of knew a little about sailing when he started, but Edward and I, we didn't know the first thing about it when we started. She's 81 feet long, and there's quite a lot of stuff to handle. It's kind of hard to get a big boat like that under sail.
Darren? Yeah? We're going to be getting underway soon, okay? Okay, we'll get up the main and then the fore, and after that we'll start cranking the anchor. And if Darren and Edward help Ted on the throat halyard, Timmy, you help Steve on the peak.
All away, combs in their hair with codfish bones. We're bound for Australia. Cape Cod kids, they got no sleds. All away, slide down hills on codfish heads. We're bound for Australia. Cape Cod doctors, they got no pills. All away, dose their patients with codfish gills. We're bound for Australia. Timmy way, hey, yeah! Hold on.
You down.
Oh, they say I hang for money. Away, boys, away. But hanging is so funny. Oh, hang, boys, hang. Oh, hanging all together. Away, boys, away. And steer for better weather. Well, hang, boys, hang.
Full fog watch today, Ted.
Can I blow it next time, Ted?
You sure can, Tim, but you got to blow it a long blast, okay? And nice and even?
Yep.
And at the 45-second mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
On a foggy morning, we have to keep a full fog watch. You have to watch out for islands and little rocks and for buoys and...
You guys sure seem to pick the rotten weather when you come with us.
I know. First time we went with you, it was really pouring and everything.
Except it was blowing harder.
Yeah.
Wish we had some wind.
Did you go sailing this weekend?
Yeah, I did. I got a third. So in that, let's see, it was yesterday in Friday when there was no air and the fog was coming in.
Last week you had something like 2 firsts and a second. This week you only got a third.
Yeah, I know. Well, I had a lousy crew.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
Come on. I don't know. I better not get back to your crew. What's today, Saturday?
Tomorrow morning.
We're really learning a lot about sailing with the captain and the crew.
Big Osprey.
We help them, they help us. It's like a
helping each other out and fun thing. On Saturday afternoons, when we get into port, we have to run errands and do a lot of cleaning and just get everything ready for the next cruise. We have to bring on the laundry so that the bunks can be made, and we have to shine the brass so that the boat will look good, and we have to take on wood because stove's a wood-burning stove. There's a lot of stuff to be done, but we always find time to mess around with the crew.
You know, he said it's a good day for a swim.
No, not me. Yeah, do it. Yeah. Scream out like kill you.
We work on the Maddie for free. It's worth it to us because Captain Anderson said when we're 15 we get first option to be on the crew.
Fish bones, we're bound for Australia. Cape Cod kids, they got no sled. Haul away, slide down hills on codfish heads. We're bound for Australia. Dose their patience with codfish gills. We're bound for Australia. Jimmy way, hey, hey, yeah!
Say, have you heard that our friends the Chim Puppets are back in town?
No kidding. I wonder what they're up to. I couldn't sleep last night.
Why not?
I plugged my electric blanket into the toaster by mistake, and I kept popping out of bed all night.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
You.
You who?
You must be sick of knock-knock jokes.
What do you call two spiders who just got married?
Newlywebs.
If you think we finger puppets are neat, and if you liked our friends the Chim Puppets, we're glad to tell you that there's a Zoom card about us. Just write Zoom, Z-O-O-M, Box 350, Boston, Mass. 02134.
If you write to Zoom and you want a Zoom card back, here's a song which tells you how to do it.
Here in the land of the Zumba tree, we're waiting for you to send us AZ. 'Cause if you want Zoom to send a Zoom card to you, then that's the very thing that you have to do.
Well, what the heck is a SAZY?
If you don't know now, don't you give up hope. It's a self-addressed stamped envelope. Self-addressed, that means addressed to yourself. Add a stamp, and then it will return itself.
I get it. SAZY means self-addressed stamped envelope. But what the heck do you do with the SAZY?
Take another envelope and a pencil or pen. In the upper left corner, write your name again. Your number and your street and your city and state. And don't forget to zip so you won't have to wait.
Okay, but what happens to the SAZY?
Take whatever you want to send to Zoom and put it in the envelope but leave some room. Now take your SAZY and fold it right and put it in the envelope and seal it tight.
Then on the envelope,
Write Zoom, Z-O-O-M, Box 350, Boston, Mass. 02134. Ready to Zoom!
okay, for my trick today, we have this tissue. And we gotta start tearing it like I just did.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, now I'm gonna place this in my hand like that, right?
Yeah.
Get it in there nice and snug. Now, I take this out like this, and it's all back together. Presto! Ta-da! Perfect. I just ripped it. Well.
One of the animals that I am sitting on is an ass.
There's something so special about my family. We breed and raise asses.
The way this all began was when my dad came into a little town and he saw this ass on the back of a battered old pickup truck.
he couldn't rest until he had that animal in the barn. He took out everything he could imagine that he could trade. And when the fella kept saying no, no, no. And then finally, me and my brother went out to the barn. And at that time, we had a little litter of skunks. And we brought them over to this fellow. And he said, well, I'll trade those 2 skunks for that ass. And that was about 9 years ago. And that started our whole career with these animals. Ewan and I have just begun to learn how to teach the little babies to lead. First, we've got to catch them, and that's the hard part.
Let's go with the girls.
Now!
Orpheus, come back here. We'll try another one.
What now?
I think I can manage her.
We never really want to scare the animals or force them into things they do not want to do.
Most people call these animals donkeys, but we don't, because donkey is a nickname for ass. And if you translated donkey into ancient English, you would find that it came out dull color, or donkey as they called it.
Ass means easer of burdens, which is in the Bible. But a lot of people just want to call them donkeys because they get offended by the word ass. Another thing people think of is that they're mean. Now, my mother wouldn't let Will Harmony, my sister, into a corral with horses in it. But Harmony around the asses is as safe as can be. These animals just like to come up here, be petted, and just are curious of what's going on here.
You don't really realize how much asses had to do with helping our country to grow. The asses have helped America by plowing fields for the frontier families and early colonists.
They can carry heavy loads. They can carry 50% of their weight, whereas a horse can carry only 1/6 of its weight.
We're going to put on this harness, eh?
So when people come to see us, we like to get the chance to tell them what asses are really like.
These are small wild asses, an endangered species. Their ancestors, or the grandparents, came from the Danakil Desert in Ethiopia. They're almost extinct. You can see why there's less than 250 left in the world.
How come they're so afraid of me?
They just want to play games. You see the smiles on their faces. They just want to play games, that's all.
My mother paints on china and porcelain.
We might have a little licorice milk, mightn't we, Justin? Ah, that's looking pretty. What are you painting?
A goat.
A goat?
Our family
Is that a
is
big goat?
trying to help the public to like these animals and appreciate them more and to learn more about them. One time we took one of our animals to New York City to be on the Today Show. We took him right into a freight elevator and right into the studio and didn't have any problems at all. Our family's come a long way since we traded those 2 skunks for that ass from the Yankee horse trader. We hope to turn our farm into a large park so more people can come and enjoy the asses the way we do.
What do donkeys play at a party? Pigtails on the kid.
Oh no!
Oh, my aching head.
Cowabunga! Self-addressed stamp envelope, self-addressed stamp envelope, self-addressed stamp envelope. Oh, I just can't say it.
Maybe you can't say it, but I can. Sazy, 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 sazy.
That's not the same thing.
Yes, it is. A sazy is a self-addressed stamped envelope.
S-A-S-E? Oh, yeah, Sazy. Sazy, 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 Sazy.
If you want Zoom to write a Zoom card back to you, just remember to include a sazy along with your letter. Sazy, 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 sazy.
Cause you gotta help friends. La 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 la. Friends. La 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 la. Friends. I'm talking about friends. Oh, that's right. Friends. La 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 la. La 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 la. Come on, give it a try. We're gonna show you just why. We're gonna teach you to fly high. Come on and zoom. Come on and zoom, zoom. Come on and zoom. Come on and zoom, zoom. Come on and zoom. Come on and zoom.
This program was funded by grants from McDonald's Corporation and McDonald's Restaurants Fund, and by public television stations, the Ford Foundation, and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Presentation of Zoom was made possible in part by a grant from General Foods Corporation.